Alright, everyone, Supreme Kami over here. I do want to conclude the week with, going to the alteration for the GP01 and then the GP02A over here. These are all, these two is just going to be like a standard alteration over here. So I'm not really going to be doing any, let's say, stat comparison, for example, or any stat ranking. I feel like, whenever you feel like you have the needs for this unit, you can definitely come over here and just alterate it. There's not going to be any hassle, like say, oh, I'm gonna need some limited time L bash for just alterating them. You simply just gonna be needing some alteration to it, just the regular one over here. So I feel like you can just kind of alterate them as you progress through the game. You feel like, oh, you need this part for like a certain build, for example. You can just gonna come over here just to alterate them. But I do want to go over just to see how good they are after alteration on that, and see what kind of secondary part trait we are gonna be able to get. So we're gonna start things off with the GP01 over here. So if I can click on it again. In terms of the overall stat, just like roughly look at this, it's not bad at all. Like, it's just unfortunate that this is gonna be bounded to a head-mounted Vulcan over here. So, Vulcan, depending on what kind of user you guys are. Me personally, I don't see too much of a good benefit of running like a head Vulcan, so I would just completely say this is not a good alteration for me personally. This word tag over here is going to be Protect and Federation. It's not the worst combo right there, because Federation does actually boost 5% for melee attack, so it can be in good use depending on like what kind of build you guys looking at. But if you are going to put this on a melee build, just looking at the melee spectrum, melee defense and melee attack is not the most astonishing, for example. But in terms of a shot attack, I can see somewhat of a viability, I guess. 8600 and then just 2999. So that's not too bad, right? So you can definitely just putting it on a shot build may not be your best conclusion, I guess, just because of the war test set over here. But then again, Federation does also boost shot attack, so you can definitely do that. I do believe that what is the head currently that we have? Let's see, a big scale archers. I'm just kind of curious right now. That may have a Federation tag. I don't know. Let me see. Let me do filter this out by Federation just to satisfy my curiosity right here. This one does. Oh, but it's just unfortunate this one is like these two right here. They are both bounded by a head EXQ, so you actually don't, unless that's just unfortunate. If there was like a head part that is not bounded by EXQ, that would make a great sub-slot partner right there. Just a little bit fortunate right there. So in terms of the torso wise over here, it's not bad. You see some pretty high, armor stat over there. And then in terms of the melee, it is actually pretty satisfiable, I would say. 3655, and then combo that with 21,014. So it's not bad, right? Or no, 2114, excuse me. It's not bad if you put that change here. Although I would say that the melee defense on both departments is quite low, I would say, but the offensive side is quite satisfiable for just some standard alteration over here. So this one's gonna be a combat hack beta over here. So lower melee attack of all enemy by 39%. So if you guys do not know, there is also that reverse of that. So we have buffing and then we also debuff. So I believe that there are some pretty good traits out there that does support like a debuffing. So just consistently lowering like your enemy damaging. This is a type of build that I have not invested into because I don't think we have that many good options. That's why. Not that there's not that many good options. It's just there's not a lot. So there's not really like a way to just let me try to see if I can build a debuffing type of unit. So I do know that this will definitely satisfy certain people when they do have this build. So it's not bad overall. So this is quite good. To all enemy, yeah, that's not bad. If there, I believe currently we do have one of these debuffing skills that targets everything. So your melee attack, shot attack, melee defense, and shot defense. So that is quite a powerful. If I recall, it's actually narrative Gundam B packs. The torso actually does have host that one of EX skill. So this one is not bad overall. Like, but I would say if there's a little bit more generalized, maybe targeting melee defense as well, that would be great. But this one does make a great addition just to lower your enemy melee attack, so not bad. Moving on to the arm over here, let's see what we have. in terms of melee attack, it's actually quite high for a standard part over here. But I don't really have like the statistic or even the rankings for any of like on in front of me right now. But just kind of eyeballing it right now, like coming at 9,000, and you have a part rate. That's a really good part, right? So you can potentially double subslot. So have this one in the main part, and then have another one at this arm as a subslot, and you can get a pretty good subslot bonuses right there. So in terms of defensive value, they're all coming in closing into 3k though, so that's pretty good if you take a look into consideration of like that 40% change gear. So it's not bad overall, like after the conversion rate. So you're roughly maybe looking at closing into 10,000 after the change gear. So I don't think it quite makes it up to maybe 10,000 after conversion. So that's why. In terms of this one over here, the first portrait is kind of like whatever wise over here, but the second portrait is good enough, I would say, that I would like, alright, you can, that's a good alteration. Just unfortunate, right? It's only boosting back part, but looking at the perspective, this is only a standard part, so you can't really ask them to give you like an all type boosting wise over here, but this is pretty good already, right? Just first portrait using beam range weapon, reload speed boost by 20%, so that's kind of not really necessary for a melee build. But I don't even know if would you even put this on a shot build base over here. Probably not, right? I mean, you can technically, because this is a EXQ power boosting, so you, like range EXQ, like any EXQ can definitely take advantage of this, right? It's not bad. Even if you do want to throw this into a shot build, for example, that shot attack is definitely up there, right? So it's not bad. Not a bad arm, for example. Moving on to the leg over here, armor wise is pretty high, and then we can see that both defensive value are pretty similar, right? So, like around that 3,000 mark. Melee attack is a little bit behind from what we have seen so far in terms of the other parts. Even shot attack is a tad lower than what we have expect, right, for warfare parts over here. But ooh, did I see what? Okay. Wow, this is a really good portrait right here. So you guys have known that I'm currently in the process of building like a let's say enemy reduction type build over here. So this is an excellent good portrait over here. Reason being, in let's say in a reduction type build, you primarily won't, let's say, be able to do good damage by yourself. So with a conjunction of having like an EXQ cooldown reduction by 20%, you will be able to cheese in just a little bit with like able to use your EXQ maybe a tad more frequently. So this is actually not bad. This one is going to be locked to a defense type, but then again, if you are going to be running a lot of these EXQ like power reduction type, having a defender would definitely make the overall process a lot more better. So this is a really good leg to be using. Not bad. If only I can use a defender type on my reduction build, I would definitely alterate this, and this is really good. This is really good portrait right there. Or maybe I can actually, I don't know. But yeah, this is good, but the investment on these will be a little bit more excessive, I guess. Even for warfare parts or even for standard part, you would need to obtain a lot of copy as well. So, but this is definitely a part if you guys are trying to build a reduction build, definitely a leg part to be looking at for sure. Moving on to the backpack, we do have an EXQ base over here. So in terms of just looking at the parameters so far, pretty high armor right there as well. Shot department is a little bit behind, I would have to say. Just 1,100 is extremely bad. But looking at the in terms of the melee perspective, it's pretty good. Pretty satisfiable for a standard. 3,649. Combo that with another 3,100 or 3,011 for melee defense. You are going to be looking at well over 4,000 after that change gear for sure. So not bad. Battle cry. I heard a lot of people are using this EXQ even pre-alteration. I don't know why. Was it anything really good? This is probably gonna be like your semi-custom EXQ base over here, if I recall. I believe I did use it once before. This one is really good after alteration. I believe originally it's only a D power, if I would have to say. Oh, I did alterate already, so I believe it was D power. So you're not really outputting it by a lot. But this one definitely does have this good utility wise over here. I'm going to be having some help recovery, and also going to be doing some melee defense, so definitely a good factor into that as well. not bad. This is pretty good, right? If anyone does want to see over here, this is unfortunate that it's gonna be one of these 90-second ones over here. But you know, I guess it does have its own purpose overall. You know, just having the health recovery, I guess. Moving on to the beam rifle over here, let's see what we have. Wow. Would you take a look at that? Okay. This is really good in terms of like, you know, you get some you get a little bit of melee defense and shot defense as well. And that shot attack is actually pretty high from just look at this. Ooh, this one is good again. What? Wow, this GP01 is bringing a lot of utility, right? Look at this. When you're using attack attribute, enemy shooting power reduced by 30%. And then with defense attack, you're also going to be getting an EXQ power boosted by 30%. Say what? Oh my gosh. This is a really good parse rate reduction type build. Wow, that's good. This is really good. I don't know what to say. Like these two, the Lick and the Beam Rifle are top notch. Okay, I'm sold. In terms of the shield, you have some pretty high armor base as well, so that's not too bad, right? Defensive stat is pretty good. Pretty average, I guess. You know, coming at 3,000. Offensive value, you do have a little bit of it, but just not that much. This one is gonna be a offensive beta over here, so this is gonna be good, you know, in the likes of using this in a league arena, for example. You would like to have one ally that is gonna be in charge of like buffing your overall squad. So this one is gonna be good, you know, just having some consistent buffing, I guess, over here. But I am currently using the shield right now pre alteration because I believe is it the busted chest, I believe. The busted chest of the busted arm does actually have an offensive beta already, and that one I believe is gonna be a lot more easier to, let's say, get up to like a level 10, because Buster's part set is actually a 3-star parts. That comes once in a month via the premium capsule tickets or the premium capsule pool. So I would say going for that one in terms of alteration is going to be a lot more easier to get up to level 10. So this one, you would use this one, but just not the alteration version, if that kind of makes sense right there, because they both have a different naming afterward. One has a star in front, so that technically makes it like a different name. So, but this one is good, right? Just having this as a utility base. But I would say that the start of like this whole world set is definitely going to be, in terms of portrait wise, it's definitely going to be the like in a beam rifle. If anyone is looking out for like a defensive type build or like a power reduction type build, those two are definitely really good. Moving on to the GP02 over here, I mean, I guess the really trophy prize to be looking at this set is definitely going to be the atomic bazooka over here. This is more in the likes of maybe some sort of like I wouldn't call this like an AoE attack. I would, but it's not to like a degree where I say it's too viable. This one you would have to use this on, let's say, like a 100% cooldown reduction build, just because maybe you have it at level 1, for example. You are going to be looking at 120 seconds, so it's not going to be too reliable, for example, if you are going to use this on League Arena without having like a cooldown reduction build type. This one will serve you a good purpose if you guys don't have those premium parts, let's say Rolling Buster or even Extra Drop, to allow you to clear the map immediately. This one in conjunction with, let's say, the H1 Galanza chest EXQ, or even, I don't know, what's some other EXQ, or even like let's say do a social drought or EXQ. I think with that combo wise over here, you should be able to take down the League Arena bosses or the enemy lineup with no problem, I guess. That I did actually testing out, but I would definitely not. Like me personally, I felt that the Atomic Bomb Bazooka is not that good. I don't know. It's just me personally. I don't know. Like maybe you guys will like it, but I don't find it too appealing. For example, right? So kind of with that already, I feel like that is gonna be like the treasure the price out of the set right here. But let's kind of take a look at everything so far. Okay, let's see. Armor base on this set is actually not bad actually. Shot attack is a little bit lower from if we compare that to the GP01. Does have a little bit outstanding, like just a better stat for defensive type over here, or melee side of it. Excuse me, 2648 and then 4189. Not bad. not a bad combo. But like I said again, this one is going to be tied to Vulcan, so I don't really see too much value to alterating this over here. Word type wise over here, it's going to be a little bit more wonky over here, having a Xeon type and then Gundam type, or Xeon and then Gundam type, so it's not going to be like an easy build, for example, in terms of like, this is looking like a dual type build if I have to say right here, you know. But do move on to the chest right here to see what we have. Wow, 7,000 for armor base over here, not bad. Like, even look at the melee side, right? 3469 and then 4183. This is really good. I'll definitely use this one if I like if I can, for example. It's just the portrait is kind of like not good at all. Range weapon shooting power boosted by 35%. This part is good. This one is definitely good, but the first portrait is like, come on, man, why? Why does that even exist? But with the Vortex, it's gonna be a little bit wonky. For example, it's the type and Gundam, so it's gonna be hard building around this. For example, so but good portrait nonetheless. Good portrait. Moving on to the arm, let's see what we have. What? Wow, the arm is good as well. Like even deep or like the armor base is really high. Melee attack is 8751 and then 5071 for defensive on a standard. What? This is good. Like if you're looking at 40% conversion rate, you're roughly bringing in maybe 2,000 conversion up to the melee attack. So roughly you're looking at 10,700 ish. Like if you look at it, so this is good. Yeah, that melee defense is definitely carrying it. So I guess it's good, but let's see the portrait first. First portrait sucks, I will have to say. Like physical range weapon boosted by 20% or reload speed. That's kind of like a fodder trait. But second portrait is definitely good. You know, melee power boosted by 35%. If you guys don't really have any other option, this one is definitely a good RS to be looking at. For example, just the word tag is like not too. I would say not too easy to build around that. Having Xeon is good for melee build, right? Don't get me wrong, but Gundam type on a melee build, probably no for me, or just no in general. It's just not me. Looking at the leg, we do see some really outstanding stuff for melee again. 2840 and then 5177 is good. It's definitely good. Ooh, this one is gonna be twist buster, so I assume this one does have a pretty good EX skill. Like I'll have to say animation wise, A pierce and a B plus, so that should give you a pretty good damage output at the end of the day. So Xeon and then for space or for base, not for space. Having for space, like, I don't know. It sucks. The vortex sucks for sure, but the stat is good. But you would have to synergize with other parts, so just purely having good parameter does not really make up for that. But I would say that Xeon type that's actually helped this build, for example, just to bridge onto different stuff. So I guess in that regards, it's not bad, I guess. Moving on to the backpack, let's see what we have. We do continue to see some pretty high, let's say, armor base over here, and in terms of the melee perspective, is good as well. This is unfortunate we have another base for tag over here. What about, ooh, okay, I see what they did right there. So remember in the GP01, there is the one debuffing, let's say EX skill over here. So this right here is just the opposite of buff EX skill effects, right? This one actually works with debuffing over here, so this one is good. So let's say if you are gonna use this portrait right here, and then if you have a conjunction with using, I don't know, like this one over here, instead of only 39%, you're going to be looking at roughly above 61%. So that's the benefit of those what's the EX skill effects buffings over there. So not bad. I can see people definitely using this portrait right here, and then also getting a melee power boosted when you're using a P attribute. This is good. Just unfortunate it's going to be locked to a specific typing right here, you know, just power attribute, and this top part right here only specific when you are using, let's say, bazooka equipped. So I mean, nonetheless, this is going to be a good portrait to be getting out of the set right here. The bazooka, we kind of gone over that already, so I'm not going to go over that again, I guess. In terms of the shoe base over here, Um, shot attack, really? How does the shield have shot attack? I don't know. Maybe like a throw shield, maybe? I don't know. But defensive base over here, melee is not that much, but shot is definitely pretty good. Beam resistance is also high as well, so okay, it's not bad. I would say this one is definitely a hot skip. It does trying to give you that, enemy power reduction type, but this one is only specific to special shot attacks, so this one is not that good, for example. But nonetheless, it's pretty good on stat wise over here. But I feel like like of everything over here for the GP02, I feel like maybe the back part is good for alteration because of that debuffing. I feel like someone can definitely take advantage of that. The armor, I would say, is pretty good as well. You do get a little bit of EXP power or melee power boosting, so you can definitely take advantage of that. But other than that, I don't see too many valuable parts over here. But that's pretty much it. There are some pretty good parts. They like these two over here, GP01 and GP02, definitely brought a lot of good utility that we can potentially use in whatever build we are looking at. So definitely a good welcome addition over here. But that's gonna be pretty much it. Just trying to close out this week with some alteration for these standard parts over here. But with that being said, I'll catch you guys all on the next one.